All right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is still the press coming to you live from the Abuja studios of KAFTAN Television. And now we've been joined by a security expert to discuss some of the headlines I read out to you earlier. His name is Yahuza Getso. And this is also a reminder that our phone lines are now open for you to call and join the conversation. Good morning, Mr. Getso. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Good morning, Sandra Agu. Good morning, viewers.
How are you doing today?
Well, I woke up full of happiness. And I can see that really in some wiki is ready to change, to bring the new change to the system, so that the old guys can go home and rest.
All right, before
while
we get
the fresh ones will come up.
Okay, before we get into that, we're just a few days away from the Independence Day celebrations. I don't know how you feel about that. Are there any expectations? What are your thoughts towards that day? Well,
you know, it is very, very difficult for any responsible Nigerian to say that we have anything to celebrate. Simply because, are we celebrating insecurity? Are we celebrating geographical and political and religious bigotry? Are we celebrating rise in unemployment? Are we celebrating inflation? Are we celebrating elites that have no idea for the future of the growing ones? Are we celebrating the unstable economy? Are we celebrating leaders that are never responsible and never serious with the issues of security and safety? Are we celebrating the difficulty and hardship that Nigerian highest percentage of Nigerian populace are in without any attention? Are we celebrating misplacement of priority by the present administration of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whereby you have your refinery not working and you take 5 billion and share it among the state governors without results, rather than using that money? Had it been you used 5 billion times 7 of the northwestern states, that is 35 billion naira. If you impute that money into Kaduna refinery, it will work up. So if you use the one for North Central and North East, you put it together to fix the Port Harcourt refinery, it will work up. If you use the South, Southwest and Southeast, 5 billion together, you put it in Wari refinery, it will work up. So our refineries can be fixed with that 5 billion that have been wasted. And many states keep alleging that they only receive 2 billion rather than 5 billion. So, and yet federal government cannot defend this. Are you in a situation whereby you have a minister of defense saying that each community have the right to go and negotiate with bandits that kill our wives, raping our wives, raping our daughters, killing our infants, slaughtering and opening the stomach of our pregnant women, and even slaughtering the tiny baby in the womb, and the killing and destroying our cows, preventing farmers from farming? So what are we going to celebrate? Do we really have anything to celebrate? You have a lot of elites who are busy recycling themselves. Is that what we are going to celebrate? We used to have NYSC graduate. We have NYSC graduate, batch A, batch B, batch C, batch D, batch E, batch F, and we are almost getting to batch V if care is not taken up to X, and yet they don't have. There is no provision to employ even 0.decimal% of them into any either strata. Government could have initiated a strategy whereby most of them could have been have a skill acquisition, so that they can be dependent. Ordinarily, we are importing toothpick. There are so many things. Nigeria is not a poor country.
The question is, if Nigeria we didn't get independence, then when would have been the best time?
While the dollar is rising, are you celebrating the price of the dollar to naira at 1,000 naira? At 1,000, is that what you are celebrating? So I don't really see anything to celebrate. we should be mourning rather than celebrating.
Well, I don't think that's going to be the case. Now, because
yes,
you made mention
it may not be the case because the elites want to use the opportunity in each of the state, each local government and each agency of the federal government. They have budgeted huge amount of money which they wanted to siphon in the name of celebration. But there is nothing to celebrate. I need answer to these questions that I raise. I have over 2,722 questions to ask the Nigerian leaders and to ask the Nigerian elites, to ask the Nigerian former ministers and former permanent secretaries and serving permanent secretaries of both states. I have all these questions to the local government chairman and the state commissioners and the state governors and even to our monarchs that are now struggling to get their right back from the politicians.
All right, let's take this call and we'll continue our conversation. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Please turn down the volume of your TV set.
Okay. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Good morning to you.
It's your regular caller, Dave from KAFTAN.
Good morning, Mr. Dave. How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you.
Please go ahead and make your contributions.
My contribution is about the so-called Kaaba. Are they angels that cannot be called to book? Why should these few individuals hold the country into hostage? Can't they be recalled? If they cannot be called to book, why can't they name them to the masses that we shall go to grave with their names and go and inform our Creator? That's my contribution. All
right, thank you so much for your contributions. Like we were talking about before, in your speech, you made mention of the issues of refineries and all of that. Now, I'm going to relate it to this headline on the Punch today. It says, Labour faults the federal government meeting, insists on indefinite strike. I know that it's not new to you what has been going on between the Labour and the federal government, but just for sake of details, it says the organized labor has said any plan by the federal government to meet union leaders will not avert the nationwide strike slated to start on Tuesday. Now, the National Deputy President of the Trade Union Congress, Stormy Etim, said nothing would stop the strike, noting that the Nigerian workers were disenchanted from the federal government. On Tuesday, the NLC and TUC announced an indefinite strike effect from October 3rd to protest the alleged failure of the federal government to provide post-subsidy palliatives for workers and implement policies that will alleviate the sufferings of the masses after the removal of fuel subsidy. Now, how do you react to this? Because, for one, just to let you know, there has been a 1 month warning strike. Like there was a warning strike 1 month ago, 2-day warning strike, and then 1 month was given to the federal government to do something about it. And up to now, we're still having negotiations here and there. We know that for some, they would say they received palliatives. There was a time we know that there was some sharing of rice and spaghetti around some parts in Nigeria, but that's not the palliative that the NLC is talking about here. And they are giving to the 3rd of October because they are hoping that in the 1st October speech of the president, they are hoping to hear some good news. So how do you react to this particular headline? Well,
actually, I'm 100% in support of the Nigerian Labour Congress, only that I have so many questions.
Okay.
We have lost confidence on Nigeria Labour Congress.
You too, because a lot of people have different opinions. Some people say the Labour Congress are they are doing this for their own personal interest.
Of course, because they have to go back and regain their lost glory, and probably the total shutdown that is coming up on 3rd October may be a testing ground for changing position between myself and many thousands and millions of Nigerians that have lost confidence on the Nigerian Labour Congress.
Okay.
Because lack of sincerity in purpose, lack of sincerity and honesty, they have been compromising many a times. And if at all they are really serious, they could have shut down this country weeks back even without giving that warning. Because that could have forced the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration to have done what was right.
Then what happened to
even at the time? And let me come. Even at the time when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu started sharing that so-called fight, even by making that announcement, it's an adequate measure. It's an adequate testimony. It's an adequate ground. It's a time when they were supposed to have shut down this country, because that money couldn't have been sent to bureaucrats and politicians who really support more than highest percentage of the money and share just little. Don't you see the rise in some part of the country where I monitor? I went out personally on monitoring, because all these government policies, I normally finance myself to go out and monitor its implementation. So I've been to 5 states, and in these states that I have been to, I want to tell you, there is even a place where I saw the rice being distributed, one tin of pig milk per person. To tell me, that's a major. 1 tin of liquid pig milk. Liquid fake milk, this liquid fake milk. And in some places,
like what they say in the market, 1 cup.
I'm telling you, 1 cup. And in some places, I saw them sharing 1 mudu to 5 people. So tell me, what will, if I am a person who's just a wife, where will I take when you give me 5 of us 1 mudu? That is 1 kwano or 1 mudu, whatever you call it, to 5 of us. And in some places, you have marketers outside the gate where the rice is being distributed. Of course, it was distributed in sacks, but they distributed it to their errands and some political talks, whereby a lot of people were wounded, local merchants exchange a lot of wounds and a lot of
because of sharing the palliative.
Yeah. But I really commend that state, because the governor was there for 6 hours. I was there for 6 hours between inside and outside. But fortunately and unfortunately, the law enforcement agents, the DSS, the police, and all the security agencies that were there, outside the gates of the distribution site, outside the gate, traders were there, buying the sack of rice at the rate of 30, 32, 34, 37 to 38 at maximum. Even myself, I intentionally bought at 32, so that I can testify to myself as an avenue. And I collected the phone number of the person I bought from. In fact, I even snapshot, but because I didn't have the consent of the person, I deleted the picture. So you realize that many other states, they distributed 1 sack to 20 people, one mudu to 5 people, and then some distributed in. I saw what happens in Kogi here, in some part of Kogi, if it's really from there, because I saw it on the social media platform, the video movie, the clip movie around, that they were distributed. What they distributed is around half measure, was 2,000 naira. So had it been you really want this money to be served as a palliative, that money could have been used to fix our refineries.
Okay.
So that we will stop exporting crude oil, paying for the exports, paying for all the logistic wahala, and then we also after refining, then we also use dollar to buy, and then bring back the fuel and sell it to the beneficiary in dollar.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. Please turn down the volume of your TV set.
All right.
Please go ahead.
Please, good morning to your guest there.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir, once again.
He's a true Nigerian. He always likes saying the truth. In fact, I was about going out when I heard his voice. I had to sit back, relax, and listen to him. Whenever he's on the studio, I like sitting down. I like his analysis in short. The whole thing he's saying there is just the truth. About this palliative, the rice, for how long would that go? You can imagine what he's saying there, a cup of rice to a family of maybe 4 or 5. So tell me, for how long would that palliative go? So please, help me thank him very well. I like the way he analyzes everything about Nigeria.
Thank you so much.
I'm here still listening to him. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us on the program. All right. Now you've made a lot of instances, and the palliatives that we know that NLC is talking about is not the rice and beans. It's
yes,
not,
of course.
That's not the palliative we're talking about. So we also talked about CNG buses, which we know that for me, I feel like it's not a short-term project. It's not something that can be done in a matter of days or weeks. If you want to provide CNG buses that will service the whole nation, it's something that might take time. It might need some kind of funding and budgeting. But I don't know if it's something that could have been done within the 1 week or the 1 month that the NLC gave towards this strike that we are expecting in days to come?
Well, if at all President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the vision for Nigeria and really want to have a palliative and sympathize for the situation of Nigerians as a result of the fuel hike or the removal of the subsidy, there are 4 questions. 1, I want to tell you that what do you call it? The amount Nigerians have been receiving as salary have not changed. I'm not saying that increase of salary is what is part of the immediate requirement.
Yeah.
Because the Nigerian civil servants or the workforce of Nigeria is not up to maximum is 5%. So you cannot induce the economy of 5% and then create additional inflation on 95%. Because if you increase salary, you will increase the rate of inflation. Everything will rise. So it means the family of 5% of Nigerians will enjoy, an additional 5% of elites who have siphoned the resources and who are in control of the economy will also laugh and will find it happy, while 90% of Nigerians will suffer. That will increase the rate of crimes. More burglings will happen. More killings will happen. New type of crimes will emerge in Northwest, in Northeast, in North Central, in Southwest, in South and Southeast. And also within the cycle of the civil service, the new corruption agenda will be introduced. So if at all you need palliative, what you need to do is to fix the economy and induce that money into the economy and wind down the price of the fuel, force the price of the fuel within first 40 days or first 100 days of Tinubu could have use that 5 billion plus additional other billions that has been wasted and squandered to projects that are not really needed, could have been used to fix the refinery. Nigerians supposed to buy at maximum the fuel between 19 naira at maximum to 30 naira. So if Nigerians are buying fuel at that price, because we are drilling ourselves, indigenous companies are drilling, more hands will be employed into those companies, and then more hands will be employed and more fueling stations will be open. So additional the level of unemployment will be reduced, and then the economy will be induced, and then we'll reduce the amount of dollar exchange that we are using to export the crude oil and to pay for the drilling and all the logistic process to the refining company where we are taking the crude oil and at the same time also importing the logistic procedures of also importing. And then we'll also reduce the risk of the roads that will have used huge amount of money to save in order to fix our roads, so that the trailers and other tankers that are moving around, they can be able to transport it to all nooks and crannies and corners, and then at the same time you will be able to manage and reduce to the minimum barrage level the crisis of IPOP, the crisis of Boko Haram, the crisis of Iswap and Saru, the bandits and other criminal acts that
I'm going to have to cut you short there. Let's take a few calls and continue our conversation. Hello, good morning. Please turn down the volume of your TV set.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. We can hear you loud and clear. Good morning. How are you doing today?
Beautiful. My name is Chief Arel.
Good morning, Chief Arel. How are you doing today? So
Fine.
good to hear from you.
It's been a while.
It's so good to hear from you today. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
I want to contribute to your discussion, and I want to greet your analyst. He's doing a very good job over there.
Thank you.
Have been able to analyze the increment with particular reference to inflation. By the time you even increase the salary, already our naira is what Idi Amin will call toilet roll. Look at the rate of naira to the dollar now. Can we say that the government are actually doing well? And in my own view, they said they were going to give us palliatives. And Bola Tinubu, we thought that he was ready to withdraw the subsidy. Knowing the effect of the withdrawal of the subsidy, up till now they have not done anything about the subsidy. And the masses are suffering. And after each time they begin to talk about palliatives, the intrigues and the drama surrounding this palliative, it is laughable. which is laughable. I can only say it is the only Borno State governor who have rolled out a lot of buses which have been able to at least to decrease the suffering of Nigerians. In my own view, the NLC should go on strike. They should go on strike now. They should put their feet on ground so that enough is enough for this deceit. And let me quickly go to the Afenifere telling Obasanjo to apologize. Afenifere should apologize to Obasanjo. You see, the Obas were very rude to the governor. They should know that it is the governor paying their salary. And some time ago, you could remember, let me take you back to history. When the Oni of Ife and Ado Bayero of Kano travel outside Nigeria without permission, they were suspended. So in my own view, I want to congratulate Obasanjo for having a very big heart to tell them to stand up when the governor came in. It was very rude of them to have treated the governor like that. After all, they say charity begins at home, doesn't end at home.
Okay.
So God bless our country, Nigeria. God bless all of you over there.
Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
You're right.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you. I'm back again, Dave from KAFTAN. I just want to comment on the analyst, Honorable Getso.
Thank you.
If we should have 3 of them, the cabal will have no place to hide in this country. May the Lord bless you in all your endeavor.
Thank you. Amen.
Thank you so much. All right, now back to the issue on ground. Now I'm going to have to ask, like our caller Chief Areo just said, in his words, the NLC should go on strike now, and he said now, like now.
Yes.
But then the question is, because we all know the impact this strike is going to have on Nigeria. So the question is that the right way to go?
Well, let me tell you, until and unless Nigerians are ready to take the pain and to smoke, to sneeze the smoke of the fire, it is better than to allow the fire to come and burn us. So I believe that if NLC, on condition, on my own point of view, like I said, Nigerians' highest proportion of the highest percentage of Nigerian population have lost confidence, more than 90% of the confidence on Nigeria Labour Congress. But we still have only Nigeria Labour Congress and its articulators or its units as a reference or as a referendum for us to talk to the government. So I still encourage Nigeria Labour Congress to go on strike, but on condition they should talk to themselves that we are ready to regain our lost glory. We are ready to remobilize Nigerians, that we are sincere, and they should be ready to have sincerity in purpose, and they should be ready to be honest, and they should be ready to face it and to face whatever the consequences of the action going on strike will cause. It is better for us to sneeze the smoke of the fire than to allow the fire to come and destroy us. Because the way things are going, if we allow President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to continue the way he started, so languished, kind of, so without having very poor coordination mechanism in terms of how to deal with the situation, and taking upside down and forgotten. I commend him for fulfilling to his promise. He promised Nigerians that if you voted me into power, I'm going to remove fuel subsidy. That is commendable. I commend him for fulfilling to his promise. But I am very annoyed and very unhappy with him for not dealing with the situation in accordance with what required for Nigerians to have the feeling of good governance, to have to test the test of good governance as he promised, and to have other promises he has put in place during his campaign fulfilled, and inclusive of even the way and manner by which his appointment is. So there's a lot of laxity between one region and the other. It's as if he is only kind of giving all the economy to Yorubas, that is to southwest, and then some issues related to do with power and some aspect of the kind of other opportunities to south, south, and southeast, and then leaving northwest, north central with issues of education, agriculture, and security. Because NSA is from north, NIA is from north, Minister of Interior from north, Minister of Defense, the senior, is from north, State Minister from north, whatever. So you have everybody. It means that it is either asking the north to go and deal with our own situation, and the Minister of Agriculture also from the northern part of the country. So, but that wasn't the promise. The promise is doing what is right. If the northern people are not, doesn't have the capability, then you appoint the right person among the senior retired military officers to manage the security situation accordingly. Because if you take, for example, Tukur Boratei, General Tukur Boratei, people are still saying that he has not done anything. Go and check the revolution did by Tukur Umar Boratei in the Nigerian military. He has done so much. He has done so well. He has put in a lot of revolutionary system that's supposed to be sustained and supposed to be maintained, which could have given the future of the security of Nigeria had it is sustained and maintained. And also checks and balancing on corruption and other things is done. All these questions that we are asking about, even inclusive of the fuel theft in the region where we have the oil drilling and other things, could have been the storytelling of the other days. So, but because President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we are happy with your take-up, but your appointment is very imbalanced, very, very much imbalanced. And at the same time, the promise you made about removing of the palliative of the subsidy, we assumed, we were confident, we have the trust on you before that you were ready. Yes, of course, at your inaugural speech, you removed the subsidy. The first 21 days could have been an opportunity for Nigerians to start feeling that you are ready to set up a strategic action plan towards fixing our refineries. Because I believe that if you do three things, you fix our refineries of Kaduna, Ori, and Port Harcourt, you encourage Dangote, and you allow other foreign investors to come and invest into initiating building refineries, and you create competing situation between the Nigerians refineries, government owned refineries, and the private owners. There will be that will be an opportunity for Nigerians to drill their crude oil, refine it here, and then it will give an opportunity for thousands and hundreds of graduates to also be employed by those companies. And that will be an enabling opportunity for many other people like you and me to also participate in agriculture and to participate in a diverse economy. So it's not only northerners that will be participating in agriculture. It's not only southerners that will be participating in the oil industry. It will be a kind of a mixed participation. And that will help Nigeria to move forward.
Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us on the press. Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
Please go ahead with your contributions.
I was watching the program yesterday. They were like, see the additional of salaries to some of the workers like death or something of that nature. You see, like the analyst I was watching it before they just took like in my place. If really labor is still existing again, then we are watching to see the outcome of what is going to happen by Tuesday. The ultimatum they give to the federal government. Okay, look at the House of Assembly before they go on break. How much was pronounced? It is God that pushed the mouth of Akpabio to say it out that day. How much was pronounced that the senators are going home to use as their holiday in or something of that nature? About 2 million. Check it. How many senators do we have? 109 senators. What of the House of Rep? How much are they giving to them for their constituency development? I learned from the House of Rep they are having about 150 million. And these workers, these state workers, these federal workers, these local government workers that they are laboring, each workers who stay in their work office from morning till 4 p.m. How much are they collecting? Peanuts. So many things here. Like one of my friends was coming back from Benin yesterday. He left in the morning. He arrived here by 1 a.m. this morning. Why? Nothing is going on. No road network. Nothing. See, what we have to understand within ourselves is all the whole things we have been enjoying was done by the military. Nothing was done to make life easy for any masses right from the time we entered into politics. Since democracy came in since 1999, nothing was done.
All right.
So I want the politicians to be very careful. Because everybody are facing the doom of what is coming up in time to come. But I pray God will intervene.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Thank you. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, this is Akim from Lagos.
Good morning, Mr. Akim. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How is KAFTAN?
Very well, thank you.
Okay, let me say hello to your analyst, even though I can't recall his name. I really enjoy his analysis this morning. And one or two things I want to draw attention on. Like on the issue of that palliative. If you remember in this station, we did call. The last time they wanted to share 88,000 naira, we were part of people that said, no, we don't want that money. You understand?
Yes.
But unfortunately, at the end of the day, President Tinubu, I don't know those that tried him on that, they still went on that kind of palliative. The truth of the matter is that Nigerians don't need that kind of palliative because definitely, even though they try this time around, but it never reaches the people. And it never even does what it's supposed to do in time of that sharing of the thing. What we are laying emphasis on were transportation and other things, and even what your analyst was saying there. Well, that has been said. All the president is listening to Nigerians now in things he's doing. Then secondly and lastly, the issue of celebrating the independence. As a Nigerian, as a citizen of Nigeria, for me, not even only this time around, right from the onset we'll be celebrating Nigerian independence. To me, I think we are not supposed to be celebrating it. There should be a time that we will remember the evil done to us by the Westerners. You understand?
Yeah.
So what are we celebrating? We are celebrating that we were colonized, we were cheated, we were exploited. No, our leaders need to rethink, not only Nigeria, even the entire Africa. There is a way we need to rebrand this nonsense we call independence of the thing.
All right, thank you so much.
Free ourselves from the tentacles of the Westerners.
All right,
And
thank
God
you,
bless
Mr.
Nigeria. We have no any other country to go. Then the NLC, they should think twice, but if they want to go, they should go, because let's just hope for the best. That's what I would just say.
All right, thank
God
you so
bless
much for joining us on the program.
Yeah.
God bless you too.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you doing today?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
This is Michael from Abuja.
Good morning, Mr. Michael. Please go ahead and make your contributions.
Please, I just want to make a contribution on this palliative.
Okay.
Maybe I'm the one that is strong. How many of us in Nigeria? I think we're about 200 million. Yes?
Yeah, over.
Or let's say 200 million. And the amount they give to each state is 500 billion.
5 billion.
5 billion each.
Yeah.
Okay. To write the whole thing together.
So you would have preferred to collect your own part of the money in cash.
What I'm trying to say, some people don't even eat rice. But if they give everybody, if they get to 500,000 each, everybody will manage themselves. And this palliative that won't be enough. I'm telling you, it will be a history in Nigeria. We've lost a lot, and people are suffering. If just 500,000 each for each person is enough. Even this village women, if they are dying and you give them 200,000 now, they will wake up.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, that is what is happening. All the people contributing, I've never seen anybody think of such thing. Let's do the right thing and everybody will rest.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank you.
And
well
let's
said.
take this final call before we move to other conversations. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sister.
Good
How are
morning.
you?
Good morning to you. Very well, thank you.
I wanted to greet the analyst, the man that is near you there.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, my good brother. It's good to be good.
Thank you.
I don't know that we still have this type of person in Nigeria. And that is my joy that there's still good somebody that will say the truth, not even add anything. So God will bless him.
Thank you.
And as they are saying, God will be with you because we are suffering. We as I'm calling have come from Benue State. And we are suffering. We that are doing this petty business. It's only God who will reward you and give you wisdom to continue.
Thank you.
That's what I want to say.
Thank you so much for joining us on the program. All right. While we wait till Tuesday and see what the NLC does with their threats, we hope that this goes the right way. I don't know what the federal government hopes to do from now till Wednesday, and we're also looking forward to the President's Independence Day speech. We are hoping to hear some good news in that regard. But let's look at other issues on our national dailies. You're a security expert, and the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. I don't think I want us to dwell so much on this, but the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. My question is going to be again, because I know I've asked this question a million times. Are we going to get to the end of this? Because it's more like there are becoming more ways and different. Like this morning, I got a message from someone saying his brother was kidnapped yesterday morning. Then there's a headline on the Punch this morning. Kidnapped Benue commissioner speaks with family from captivity. The issue of kidnapping has become like a regular thing that it just happens and people just talk about it. Oh, he has been kidnapped. Yeah, and people just move on. It's happening. Even the issues of one chance here in Abuja or maybe in Nigeria. I don't know how rampant it is in other parts of Nigeria, but I'm going to take Abuja as a case study. It has become something else. Now, on this national daily this morning, 2 women arrested with 1,000 rounds of ammunition in some parts of the country. And my question is, for some reasons, this is in the papers, but nothing happens after this. Why I said so is, you've arrested 2 women. For some reason, their arms and ammunition was headed somewhere. So if they were heading somewhere,
and came from somewhere. It
came from somewhere. So you've arrested them, but nothing is happening before and after. We just know about this. So that's why I asked the question, are we ever going to have an end to this?
Well, let me look at 4 things. 1, the reality of the insecurity in Nigeria is between victims and beneficiaries.
Okay.
So that's for this reason. If beneficiaries are not really dealt with, then the victims will never get out of it.
Okay.
If the victims remain who they are and where they are and what they are, then the beneficiaries will continue to remobilize themselves and reconstitute an institution of themselves. That is 1. 2, if you did not commend Nigerian security personnel, you will not condemn them, looking at the environment they are operating. Like I made mention that former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Umar Buratai, have done so much revolution in the cycle of the military, and also other security leaders, heads also, have made a lot of inputs in terms of revolutionizing the system, the operating system of the security. Okay. But the problem, they were unable to deal with corruption in the process. In fact, it was even as if they promoted the institutional corruption rather than dealing with it. So if that is not dealt with, so again, like I said, if you cannot commend the Nigerian security personnel, you cannot condemn them. Why? Because the environment they are operating is very harsh. 1, if you look at out of every 100, let me use a lowest number, every 9 out of 10 Nigerian security personnel, if you give them a space of 1 minute to 3 minutes, they will stop snoring with their gun. You know why they are snoring? Because they couldn't sleep well yesterday night for several reasons. One of which, they are unable to have their salaries. Their promotion has been due. They have not been promoted. They don't know when their leave will be approved for them to go and rest. And some have been in the forest or on forest or field forcing outside, away of their family, without making any provisional support for their family. Some have been transferred from Lagos to Maiduguri without accommodation, from Maiduguri to Port Harcourt without accommodation, from Maiduguri to Kano without accommodation, from Sokoto to Enugu without accommodation. So if you don't have accommodation and you left your wives and children, you were unable to pay their school fees, and you are given an old arm, whereas the criminals, the bandits, the IFO, the kidnappers, the Boko Haram, the ISOP, whosoever, Ansar, whatever you have, all the type of criminals that you have, which made every 15 kilometers in Nigeria unsafe, have been made very difficult. The type of arm and ammunition those criminals are handling are not really the type. Most of the Nigerian security personnel are manning old machines that are supposed to be outdated, that's supposed to be out of our armories to be burnt out. And then the number of personnel, all the agencies are understaffed. So if at all we have seriousness and commitment, we need to make a serious and massive recruitment into the services, whereby we have thousands and hundreds of unemployed youths, employ 990 between the age of 17 to 22 of per polling unit. So if you have 10 polling units in a political ward, you will have 900. If you have 10 political wards in a local government, you will have 9,000. Out of 773 local governments that we have in Nigeria, why can't you try piloting this in at least 400 to 450 to 500 local governments? You see the number of personnel that you have. Distribute them into the services. Nigerian Army, Nigerian Air Force, Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Police, Mobile Police, Civil Defense, DSS, NIA, and what may be. You have thousands of unemployed graduates, and they have the capability, they have the agility, they are determined, they are willing. If you call for any recruitment now in the Nigerian military, if you are recruiting rank and file, I want to tell you that out of every 10, 7 of them are graduates. They will hide their other certificates and show the secondary, the SSCE certificate, because they want to get into the service. Then they can ask for conversion or a cadre conversion. But because we have thousands of them between the age of 17 to the age of 22, they are in millions. So, and at the same time, you need to boost the morale of the present personnel that you have, and also modernize the operating system. Okay. Because if you change, you provide modern armament. And then you rebuild the capacity and have monitoring and tracking system for which you can sustain even the minute number of personnel that we have. And you provide enabling environment. You create all the enablers that has been disabled on their social, salary, their family, the accommodation, and allowances, promotion, and other things, and also to have the situation of kind of system of reward and punishment, whereby if somebody commits an offense, will be punished, and then if somebody does something wrong, will be rewarded. And at the same time, like you made mention, there has never been a feedback of any arrest. Kidnappings, I said it before, I will repeat it now. I have made a profiling of all the bandits in the northwestern part of the country, the northeastern part of the country, and north central. And all of them can be profiled if the government is ready and if they are really wanted. I did say it before on my own, and I believe now if we can have the finances, government is ready to commit itself, we can redo the profiling. All of them are not up to 3,000 in number. All the bandits that have been disturbing the northwestern part of the country, the zone, north central, and some part of northeastern, all of them are not up to 3,000. So I wonder, and we know all of them. We know where they are. We know their polling unit. We know their political works. We know their local governments.
They have
their
polling units and they have political works.
Of course, they are all indigenous. 99.9% of the bandits and kidnappers in Nigeria are indigenous. And they are known to the community they are disturbing. They are known to the local government they are disturbing. And none of the DSS command or police command or military units or military brigade that is not aware of Mr. A is a kingpin, Mr. B is a kingpin at so location. They all know. We know they know, and they know we know they know. But they are not ready, they are not willing, they are not intending to bring an end to this menace. Let me tell you, Recently, there was argument between conflict between the federal government and the Zamfara state and some other states about the issue of federal government sneaks into this state to dialogue with bandits without the knowledge of the state of Katsina and Zamfara. Particularly, the Zamfara state governor raised alarm. But the government, the federal government says, the Minister of Defense, Badr Abubakar, if the statement actually is credited to him, because I did not hear his voice, but I saw it on the social media, on the clips, that he says that community have the right to negotiate with the bandits. So what leadership do we have? What a country? What a loose system? What an irresponsive system? What a government? What a serious government that we are introducing and we are taking up? So if at all care is not taken, I want to tell you that we have the clip, a video clip, whereby somebody introduced himself to the bandits. Some of them using military trousers. Yes. Some of them using military cap, beret. Some of them using military t-shirt. And surrounded with carrying their arms and ammunition. We have the videos and we can show it. And we can show the faces of those who have been talking. Somebody says, I'm from Abuja. The other person says that you kill my military team on so road. But the worst part of it, the most shameful part of that negotiation was the fact that they are saying that the road between Funtua to Sokoto, they should stop attacking it. They should stop coming around. They should stay in their forest. So which means because the senior citizens are passing through that route. So what stupid system do we have?
All right, we have a caller on the line. We'll take this call and before we end our conversation today. Hello, good morning, Elder Zion.
Good morning.
Good morning, Elder Zion. How are you doing today?
Fine, how
very well, thank you.
Okay, please. There is a disturbing piece of information I came across this morning.
Okay.
It is about my good friend. I used to call him Adade, Prince Adewane Adebayo, the presidential candidate of People Democratic Party.
Okay.
I have special respect for him because of his humility, his intelligence, and the respect for others. So that we had today that he said that INEC is the headquarter of fraud and corruption. So I could not understand because I can still remember when he visited, he congratulated Tinubu and made some statements, even calling on his fellow presidential candidates who lost to accept defeat. He made some statements also about INEC. So I don't know whether it is true. Other Nigerians are not happy because we hold him at a very high esteem. It's not somebody can talk at the true edge of the mouth. So he should come out and tell Nigerians what actually
happened, why he made that statement. Yeah, go ahead, we can hear you.
Okay. Having said that, still on INEC, in the news today, that INEC is lamenting the low turnout of people to correct their PVC. You see, you cannot eat your cake and have it. Nigerians are not fools to continue wasting their time. Nigerians have lost confidence in INEC. So, I don't know. They should leave Nigerians alone. Their greater dilemma will come in 2027. When they will be surprised that people will not listen to them. Having said so, finally, I want to comment a little about what happened, I think yesterday also, in Imo and Anambra, where the Nigerian Air Force did that striking on IPOB
and ESN.
So, you see, I wonder whether it is how we go to end that confusion in the Southeast.
Okay.
IPOB is fighting a guerrilla war. You don't see them. They can disguise their camp to other things, deceiving you. to be wasting your time. I think Nigeria is trying, or the federal government, they know the road.
All right, thank you, Elder Zion.
They decided not to follow it.
All right, thank you so much for your contributions.
And all these things in the southeast.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm sorry to take your time.
No, thank you so much for joining us on the program.
A quick rider to this.
Okay.
As far as INEC remain making a budget and presenting the budget before the federal government, as far as we continue like this, INEC will continue to remain the headquarter of the corruption in Nigeria. And there will never be a good result for any election at any level. And Nigerians will continue to lose confidence, and the credibility of the INEC will continue to diminish.
All right, thank you so much. And with that, we draw the curtain today on the press, coming to you live from the Abuja studios of KAFTAN Television. That was our conversation with Yahuza Getso. He's a security expert and a public affairs analyst. Till I come your way tomorrow, I am Sandra Agu. Bye for now.